Hey, welcome to Five Lakes Garage, the home of random projects. We have lists, we have Jeeps, we have trucks, we have food. You name it, we got it. So help out the channel by just hitting that subscribe button. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it. And if you really like the video, like it and then tell a friend. But stay tuned, enjoy yourself. I'm gonna let you go because I got stuff to do. Hey, welcome back to Five Lakes Garage, and today actually I'm going to show you my new toy. I just want to do a quick overview on this drone. That's right, I actually picked this up from a friend of mine. Her son pretty much got it for Christmas and then got tired of it, wanted to upgrade. So give a lot of kudos to that kid. He went out and cut a bunch of grass and bought it himself. Really proud of our youth today actually doing that, taking the initiative and getting out there and doing what it takes to get what they want. Fantastic, good job, Mr. Aiden. So I'm going to go over a few things about this particular drone and let you know some of the good things, some of the bad things, some of the things I kind of wish I had differently, and what I'm going to look for when I start upgrading this. Now, I would have to start off with by saying that this actually is a pretty decent starter drone. If you have never flown one before, this one actually flies really easily. It autocorrects pretty quickly. It hovers pretty decently as well. It is GPS guided, so it does have a few features that is definitely helpful. One being call home. You can hit one button on the controller and it will land within 10 feet of the place it actually took off from. I was playing around with it last weekend and it actually did pretty well. And each time it was like maybe 1 foot, maybe 2 foot. The max I had it there was about 3 feet. And one of them I was driving it all the way down the road, or flying it all the way down the road over the water. I hit the home button, it went straight back and then landed. Now there's a couple things that you have to watch out for when you are calling it home and also when you are flying it without you controlling it. Now it does not have collision detection. So if you have it following you, which I'll show you that here in a second, there is a feature to where you say follow me and it will follow the controller, follow the GPS of the controller, and it will follow. It actually does pretty well. The only problem is though is that if I get too close to a tree or a bridge or a house or whatever, it's going to keep going because it doesn't know what it's actually going to run into. Some of the newer models do have collision detection, and if that is a huge problem for you, I would probably recommend a different one and not this one. So what is this one? This one is a Holy Stone 700D. Now this is just a cheap drone. Okay, so what do you get when you get a 700D? Well, obviously you get a drone. You get 4 blades. You also get a camera that is sitting on a very loose gimbal. That's one of the things I would hope to improve on my next one, would be a better gimbal. When I start flying it and recording the video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So basically when it starts to fly, it will tilt this way while you're pointing down on the ground, then it'll stop. Whoop, you're looking at the sky. Now some of them, like my little brother has one, it's pretty sweet, that it has a 3-way gimbal on the bottom. So if the camera's pointing here and it starts dipping in, that camera stays on that spot. It actually works really well. He did spend a whole lot more than I spent on this one. This one, I think you can get it on Amazon for like 200 bucks. So, but anyway, it does have brushless motors, which is actually pretty good. It also comes with a controller. I would have to say, holding this controller kind of feels like Fisher-Price, I would have to say. One little quick tip: your antennas, if you have them like this, it does okay. I found if you dip them straight down and maybe out just a hair, it actually works a lot better. You get better range. That would be one of the downfalls I would say about this particular drone, is that your range isn't that great. Maximum height is about 360 feet, about 120 meters. After that, it starts beeping at you saying that it's getting out of range. Now, one thing I will have to stress on is actually read the requirements and the regulations in your area. In this area here, 400 feet is our max. Can't go above it. If on a amateur, hobbyist type of registration. Oh, also, you got to register your drone. If your drone is heavier than 250 grams, which this one definitely is, I have to register it. And I actually have it printed on the back of the drone itself. If I ever get to a point where I'm using this for commercial use, let's just say hypothetically, all you guys and girls out there, help me at least make $1 off this thing. That will, I will need to upgrade my registration with the FAA. And actually, if you look down below in the comments or in the description, I'll show you. I'll put the link of actually registering your drone, just so you can go straight there. Go ahead and get it registered. Just follow the rules. It's $5, and all you really put in there is your serial number, your name, address, phone number, and that's about it. Basically, what it's for is if I take this drone and I go to like say an airport or wherever, and they retrieve it, they're gonna know who you are. So definitely do not go to the airport and fly it around jets. Do not go to a military base and fly it around that. Big time no-no. My little brother, on his drone, he has part of the software to where if you're in a no-fly zone, let's just say you're next to a military base, you're not gonna be able to take off. It'll crank up the blades, go up, crank, and go right back down. It will not let you fly in there. This one right here, not that sophisticated. So you definitely need to know your rules, know where you're flying it, and just be safe about it, all right? We don't want to get in trouble over a $150 drone, or $200 drone. So, a couple of other points. Well, yeah. So the other things you get in the box would be your charger. Now this one right here actually can charge two batteries at the same time. These batteries last about 20 minutes or so. They actually do okay. It takes forever to charge them. It just works off of a regular USB. You can get a brick. If you got a cell phone, you got the brick. So you can charge them up. But it does take a long time. I usually just stick it in overnight. I'll get up in the morning, the lights stay solid green, I can pull them off then. But other than that. Now on the controller itself, you do need to get some batteries. They do not come with it. This particular one has 4 AA batteries. I try to use rechargeable ones only because it does burn batteries pretty good. Your batteries. Now one thing about all these drones here, most of those are proprietary batteries. You got to get the right battery for your drone. They don't have like a universal battery that you can just go off and get. So the kit will come with one, and the gentleman that I purchased this from actually got a second one, which is pretty cool. I think these are like 50 bucks a pop. So that part was cool. Another thing that did not come in the package that I actually picked up after the fact, and it actually works out pretty well, but I try to fly it with VR goggles. This particular one, I think it was like 20 bucks, really. I just bought it just to see if I liked it. But you open up the hatch, you put your cell phone inside and also you got VR games. That's actually pretty cool. So you can put that in there. You push a button on the app, it'll turn into 3D. So you can put these on and actually fly it around and going through the camera. It's a little freaky, I have to say. So yeah, so that's everything that actually comes. Oh, and it comes with a manual. So I don't have that out here. It's who reads manuals? Just figure it out, or watch a video. There you go. That's a good spot. All right. So one other thing that you have to realize is when you get this drone, if you want to actually record video, there's 2 ways of recording video. One, there is a 5G internet network that your drone actually emits, and you'll take your cell phone and actually find that Wi-Fi service, and you can control everything through your cell phone. So if you don't have a card, like a little SIM card, this little guy, if you don't have one of these, then what it's going to do is actually transmit that video down to your cell phone. The quality of it, it's okay. I kind of wish that the camera was a little higher grade. This one I believe only does about 2K of resolution. I wouldn't mind getting a 4K or maybe a little bit higher once they start coming out. But it does it okay. If you do want to use a card and record it to the card rather than coming all the way down to your phone, you have to get a 32 gig. It does not work with anything higher. I had a 64 gig that I had in one of my other cameras. I stuck it in. Oh, that's gonna be great. Could not get it to read, and it drove me nuts until I actually did read the manual, and it said, don't go over 32 gig. So I'm gonna start with the bad things, just so we can finish off with the good things. So a couple of the bad things. The app. The app is not that great. It's called Ophelia GPS. It is not that spectacular. So a couple of things I don't like about the app. One, most of it is in Chinese. They do have some stuff translated into English, but it's like this right here. Yeah, it's in Chinese. I don't know what it says, but yeah, it would be nice if they worked a little bit harder on translating. All right, so once you get get the app downloaded on your phone, then you should be able to control everything that you want to control. Now, your controller itself does have options of the buttons. So you have up, down, swing right, swing left, and then this is rotate right or left, and that's rotate right. Off, on. You do have different channels in case you have other people around with using the same type of drones. You might have the same channels, you might have to switch it up a little bit so that you're not on the same frequency. Also, this little trigger thing right here, I'll actually move the camera. It will go down, it will go up. It's actually pretty sweet. Some of the other stuff here, if you just want to, you say, hey, I'm done with it. All right, hit that button, it will land itself. Takes a little bit. After you get it calibrated, which is another thing that's kind of annoying, you got to calibrate it every time you change the battery. And basically, I'll show you that here in a second of how to calibrate it. So I'm gonna put that down. The little lock button. What this is going to do is once you get it calibrated and you're ready to fly, you can hit that button. It is going to lock the controller into the drone. The blades will start spinning, so don't have your hands next to it. So anyway, then you have the home button. So if, let's say you're down the street somewhere and you're like, okay, I'm done. You hit the home button, it will slowly come over. It will hover right where you took off and actually land within about 10 feet or so. And then you have your camera button. Now, if you just click it once, it will take a picture. If you click on it and hold it, it'll start taking video. Now, if you see TF on your phone, that means it's going to the card. If you do not see TF flashing, it's going to your cell phone, which it still works. So if you run out of space on one, you still got the other. All right, so let's look at some of the good things about this drone. Number one, it's actually really easy to fly. It's very easy to understand. I had the gentleman come over that was gonna sell it to me, and one of the things I told him that I needed was a lesson. So he came over and showed me exactly how to do it. It was very easy. I barely even had to read the instructions. The only thing I did read about the card, so I did read the instructions, just didn't look at anything else because it is that easy. It's actually, it's a lot of fun. Different features on it is actually pretty okay. The following me feature, where you can click on it, like I said, it will follow the GPS. I'll walk, and I'll show you that here in a minute. The circle feature. Now the circle feature is if you stand in the middle and you have it hovering over here, you can hit the circle feature and it will slowly circle you, and the whole time pointing the camera at you. It's okay. You do have to calibrate it. Say I want a 10 feet circle, I want a 20 feet circle, or whatever. If you want to be dead center, you have to judge. You'd be like, okay, the drone is 15 feet away. You go into the app and say I want a 15-foot radius, and it will circle around that radius. So it does work-ish. On this particular one, it's a little more complicated than some of the other ones. Now the stability on it, like I said, it hovers really well. If you wanted to take a still picture of something, it actually hovers pretty good. If it's in the really high wind, it's not as good for obvious reasons, but it's still okay. I was actually really surprised on how well it did in high wind situation. I've had it up almost 360 feet. It started beeping at me, so I couldn't go to my 400 feet that I wanted, but it did okay. It did pretty good. I was really surprised. The come home feature, like I was saying, it will land within 10 feet of where you took off. But the best thing about it right now, it has to be the price. I mean, like I said, you can go to Amazon and pick it up for 200 bucks. I mean, you get what you paid for. I'll put it that way. Hey, this is not really a part of the drone episode, but a little tip: if you want to record a video, hit the record button. As you can see, I got a different shirt on, but I wanted to show you how to calibrate your drone. So this is how you calibrate it, and of course you have to do it every time you change the battery. All right, so you have your drone. You kind of look on the bottom, you got flashy lights everywhere, right? So we want to make these sure that these are green and then also red and green. So to make them all green, you stick it down on the ground, and then you're going to rotate it around about 3 times until they all turn green. And I'm going to go around and then pull up. As you can tell, they're all green. Once you get done with that, you're going to spin it until 2 of them are going to turn red. See, we got 2 red. These will turn green once you are ready to fly. All right, so what I found out, you got to do that every time you want to recalibrate your drone, which is not that big of a deal. A couple turns and you're ready to fly. All right, a couple of warnings that it does give you is that, remember how the lights were green and red? When your battery gets down to number 2, it's going to start flashing red. Now, once it stops flashing red, you better start getting it home quick, because it's going to drop because the batteries are dying. So anyway, the controller will let you know when it actually starts to run low. All right, so you got your controller and you got your drone. So I'm getting ready to take off. So what I'm going to do, it's already been calibrated. I'm going to hit my lock button. Starts the blades. Now I want to lift up. So basically you just push up. All right, so if I want to rotate the copter, I just push my left finger over. If I want to go the other way, push that over. All right, now I haven't even messed with this side yet. So if I want to go straight, I push that forward. So this will, see how it kind of dips down? Yeah, that gimbal's not the greatest. All right, now it is flying all over the place. So if I wanted to go to the left, just swing it without moving the copter. It goes that way. You can go to the right, you go that way. And of course, if you want to go backwards, you just pull down on that one. Now, if I want to go ahead and land, let's say I want to land straight down here. Let's see how fast it will get there. I'm gonna hit my home button. There you go, not too bad. It started off there and now it landed there. Not bad, not bad. All right, so one thing I'm going to show you right now would be the actual follow me feature. So you want to click on that, and then it'll say, do you want to follow? Yes, I do. So now if I walk away, now it's not the fastest thing in the world, but if I did walk slowly, it would have followed me. I did walk a little bit fast, so it wasn't that big of a deal. All right, so as you can see, it just sits there and hover. I don't have anything on the controller, and it will sit there, and it does pretty good. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you was actually the circle mode. I'm gonna show you that. So what I'm gonna do right now is actually just take it to its limit, just so you can see the beautiful area. Let's go. All right, so I did put it in my VR goggles. So I'm gonna hit my 3D, which splits it into 2. Now, these also are something you get what you pay for. They're only 20 bucks. Pretty cheap, but it'd be pretty cool. All right, so this is 56 meters. All right, so that's about 120 meters. Let's see what she looks like. See all the lakes, power station. Now this thing is up there pretty high, and it's still relatively stable. It's not great, but it is stable. All right, so it is still 120 meters up, and it is way up there. And also, one of the rules that from the FAA is that you always have to have a clean line of sight with your drone, if you are a recreational type of flyer. You can't just have it go down the street, you can't see it. Now they do have it to where you can re-spot it with binoculars, but you can't track it with binoculars. So I'm just gonna hit the home button and close this off. So I hope this actually helps you out. It was a quick little overview. Sorry for the darkness, but it was hot today. All right, she's coming down. It's gonna take a little bit, but anyway, stay tuned for a lot of the other stuff. I'm hopefully be able to use this stuff out on the trail and actually follow the Jeep as we go down the trail and hit some of those wicked obstacles. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff, and we will catch you guys later. Happy flying. Later.